Hey everybody. Hello, hello. Hello world. How are you, internet? Lots of people in the chat. Good to see. Hi. Happy Friday morning for me. It's Friday morning, June 30th, I believe. Is that right? Yes, June 30th. Yeah, of course, because tomorrow is Canada Day. So happy early Canada Day, everybody. Canada's 150th birthday tomorrow. 150. Very old for a person, very young for a teacher. Sorry, very young for a country. I'm just reading. I'm just reading stuff off the chat. Very young for a country, not young for a teacher. 150 is still quite old for a teacher. All right. Yeah. Cool. Lots of people. Annie's here, of course. Rosa and Rosa. Jacqueline is back. Good to see you. Navjot, Carlos, French Leo, Asala is here. Awesome. I got my coffee. Anybody who's new, anybody has never been here before, I am Shaun. Hi. And I'm going to be your teacher for the next hour or so. And I am coming to you live from Canada. I'm in Vancouver at the Canadian College of English Language. The vampire teacher is 150 years old. That's right. I'm actually 150 years old. I look pretty good for my age. Brazil is 550 years old. Well, that's what I said. Canada is like just a little cute tiny baby compared to most of your countries, right? Yeah, but okay, it's good to see you. If you're new, hey, if you're new, tell me in the chat if this is your first time, so we can welcome you. Yeah, we like to welcome the newcomers. I know some of you have been with me for a year, more than a year. You've been coming to these classes. It's great. So it's Friday for me. Hey, Tech Shogun. Good to see you. I know for some of you it's, I don't know, Saturday night, or maybe it's 150 years into the future, and you're watching this somehow. Nancy's first time, or hey, Nancy. And Ray. Well, Ray, yeah, that's Julian's brother. Julian, you're new? Yeah, welcome. Welcome, Sway Venom. Okay. So yeah, I'm in Vancouver, downtown, at the Canadian College of English Language, and we are going to jump into the lesson here. We're going to jump right in. We're going to dive in. Nancy's from El Salvador. Awesome. 2 a.m. where Annie is. It's early. Okay, so if you have questions during the class, put them in the chat. Okay. Today's topic it's a tough one to learn. It's a tough one to teach because it's really just a vocabulary lesson. Apart from a couple little grammar rules, what we're talking today is really just about vocabulary. Diana's from Cuba. Awesome. In Miami. Awesome. I've been to Cuba. Beautiful country. Very cool. And Gilda's from Georgia. Your country is 1,500 years old. Yeah, right. Yeah, pretty old. Michael's from Czech Republic. Awesome. It's so great to see so many different countries in the chat. This is fantastic. Okay, so welcome everybody. Let me jump in here. Let me go here. There we go. Where did I go? There I am. All right. So usually I often start the lesson with a bit of a story or a question, a quiz to the audience. But today we've got so much really to talk about, such a broad subject we're starting with today that, as I said, we are going to dive in. We're going to jump right in, which is also a hint to the topic of today's lesson. All right. Tech Shogun is ready. All right, so another reminder for anybody who is new to the class. This is an intermediate level class. This is Smrt 120, which is just that middle level of English, not super high, not super beginner, but of course everybody is welcome. Today we're going to start with some basic things, and then we'll get maybe a little bit more complicated as we go. Saul, you're from Honduras, but in Washington, D.C. Cool. Very cool. All right. Hi, Lucy. Let's get started. So let's just start with a simple sentence, okay? Just to kind of introduce today's topic. My laptop is running out of power, and so I have to plug it in. All right, a common dilemma in the 21st century. The dying laptop, right? My laptop is running out of juice. I need to plug it in. Right? Melinda, you're asking about how is my health? I think my health is okay. I haven't gone to the doctor for a checkup lately, but yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm ready. It's a long weekend here in Canada, right? Because it's Canada Day tomorrow, so we get Monday off. So I'm looking at I'm looking at a long weekend here. There's a beetle on my shirt, Julian says. That's terrifying. Okay, so my laptop is running out of power, so I have to plug it in. I'm using this sentence as an introduction because it has two examples of what we are talking about today. People are saying prepositions, and partly, yes, we are talking about prepositions. But really, the main topic of today's class is phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs is what we're talking about today. Phrasal verbs, as I said at the beginning of class, are very hard to learn, I guess. As a topic, it's hard to teach and hard to learn because it's really just vocabulary. I mean, there is a seemingly endless list of phrasal verbs out there. So I want to kind of introduce the idea. For some of you might not know what a phrasal verb is, and then we'll talk about some of them. Specifically today, we're talking about phrasal verbs with in, out, away, and back. Nora's favorite. Nora loves those phrasal verbs. Now I love phrasal verbs too. Now, phrasal verbs are a tough subject, as I said. So if you have questions about phrasal verbs, put them in the chat, and I'll try to answer them. Okay? Because part of this, the reason I wanted to have this class is so you could ask me questions about phrasal verbs. Anna's having a test tomorrow on phrasal verbs. Well, I knew that, Anna. That's why I'm doing this class. Okay. So let's get started. So the first question, maybe a simple question for a lot of people, is what are phrasal verbs? What are phrasal verbs? She's wondering as she's trying to pick out an outfit for the day. She's thinking, what is a phrasal verb? Well, a phrasal verb is, or phrasal verbs are, for the most part, what we call two-part verbs, right? Two words put together, functioning together as one verb. So it's a phrase because it's more than one word, but it's functioning, its job in the sentence is the same as one verb. Okay, so it's a two-part verb. And Louise, your definition of plug in is correct. Good for you. Okay, and the two parts consist of, first, there's a verb. Obviously, you need that verb. And then a particle. Now, a particle really means, oftentimes when we talk about particles, we're talking about words that don't necessarily have a specific meaning in the sentence, but they have some kind of function in the sentence. Okay, so later on, we're going to talk about that, how the particles themselves don't always mean what you think they might mean. Okay, so a particle in terms of phrasal verbs, can be a preposition or sometimes an adverb. Okay? So verb plus particle, or sometimes people say verb plus preposition, which isn't always exactly accurate, but that's fine. If you call them prepositions, it's okay. And Rose is asking that, yeah, preposition or adverb. Absolutely. Good, good, good. So, just to be clear, when we're talking about particles, examples of common particles are things like in, out, on, off, up, down, away, and back. Now, these are some, not all. We have lots of other examples, but these are examples of particles we use to form phrasal verbs. Okay? So the sentence that I used at the beginning of class, I said running out of power, plug in my computer. Okay? Plug in my laptop. All right, so let's talk about the difference between the verb and the phrasal verb. So you've got a word like grow, right? There's your verb. And then you've got a phrasal verb like grow up, right? So that's the difference. You got a single verb here, grow, and then the phrasal verb grow up with the verb and, as I said, the particle, in this case, up, is your particle, right? Now, phrasal verbs, the tricky thing about phrasal verbs is that they sometimes have a different meaning. They can kind of change the meaning of the verb itself, or the phrasal verb can have a slightly different meaning than just the verb itself. Or grow on, Asala is saying. Yeah, exactly, right. So obviously, grow, lots of things can grow. Lettuce can grow. I think that's, yeah, that looks like lettuce. Kale, maybe. Feelings can grow, right? Lots of things can grow. Sometimes the reason I'm using this example is that I oftentimes see students make a mistake with the word grow up, with the phrase, that phrasal verb grow up. Really only people can grow up, right? I mean, specifically grow up means to become an adult, like to mature, right? Now you guys are giving me other examples of phrasal verbs. Good one, Annie. Yep. Good. And I'm going to show you lots of different examples of this. Fall behind from Anna. That's a good one. Yeah, don't fall behind. So grow versus grow up, slightly different. And that's the tricky thing about phrasal verbs. And one thing that we'll look at a little bit today is that one phrasal verb can have several different meanings as well. To bring up children. Right. You guys are just throwing phrasal verbs at me. Why is Hulk here? I think I put Hulk here because, as I said, phrasal verbs are sometimes a thing that really frustrates students. They think it's really difficult and it drives them crazy. But that's why I like it, because it drives students crazy. And I'm going to help you a little bit today, hopefully. Steve Lynn is saying people grow up, but they don't grow down. And that's exactly, that's right. Okay. So yeah, obviously some of the meanings of phrasal verbs are very easy to guess. Okay? Hi, Rose. Some of the meanings are very obvious, right? For example, this one, you need to put on your boots if you're going outside, right? To put something on is an obvious meaning of a phrasal verb. Or I sat down on the steps and thought about my life. That's heavy. Yeah, he's got heavy thoughts there, that guy. I shouldn't be laughing at him, but yeah, he's thinking about life, so he sat down. So again, yes, some of these phrasal verbs are very obvious. Okay, so somebody's asking about growing to grow down. Yeah, not many things can grow down, unless maybe you're talking about some kind of plant that grows down the side of a building or something like that? Good question. Okay, now those are the easy ones. Sometimes the phrasal verbs can have completely different meanings from the original verb. Now, grow and grow up, a little bit specific, right? That grow up can only be used for people, but the meaning is still similar. But sometimes phrasal verbs are just completely different. Yeah, so Rosa's asking, how can you know if it's a phrasal verb and not just a verb followed by a preposition? I mean, I would say the first thing to look for is if let down, if the word down changes or affects the meaning of the verb, Rosa, right? So to let down is very different from to let, right? To let means to allow, right? To let down means to disappoint. So if you're looking at that particle or that preposition, and the meaning is affected, right? The meaning of that verb changes, you're probably looking at a phrasal verb there. That's a good question. Very good question. Hopefully that answered your question. Rosa, let me know if it didn't. Okay. And Chateau 7's back. Good to see you. You're asking about phrasal verbs with two prepositions. Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, I don't have a list of them because it's a very long list, but we are going to be looking at some of them. And I think we even saw one here, right? To sit down on the steps. Now, this is a good example of when students get confused sometimes when they're looking at a sentence, right? How can you have two prepositions together like that, right? But that is part of the phrasal verb universe, right? Yeah, you guys are throwing good examples in there. Oh, yeah. Too, one thing, I'm going to mention this now because I've noticed that sometimes on my videos, people have commented that I'm looking over here too much, and that I should look at you more often. I think sometimes people don't realize that I'm actually reading the students. Your questions are over here, so that's why if I'm looking over here, it's because I'm reading your questions, guys. Okay. I wish I could just make eye contact with you the whole class, but I can't. All right, so let's look at some examples of phrasal verbs that are completely different from the original verb. Okay, so for example, the word hold up, right? Hold, obviously meaning to grasp. I'm holding my cup, right? But hold up, completely different. It means to cause a delay, right? To make somebody late. Okay? For example, sorry I'm late, I was held up by traffic. Right? I was held up by traffic. So traffic made me late. Okay? To hold up. And another example of hold up, completely different from that, is hold up can also mean to rob. Right? To have a gun or a weapon and take somebody's money. Right? And of course, to hold up could mean to physically raise something, right? To hold your gun up in the air, right? As somebody's saying in the chat. But in this case, a man held me up at gunpoint, right? And hold on, Shubham is saying the same thing, right? Yeah, I love you guys so much. It's true. It's true. Right. So the man held me up at gunpoint. Hopefully nobody here has ever been held up at gunpoint. I have been lucky enough to not have that happen to me. I'm sure it's not a very good experience. But again, this is how the verb changes dramatically, right? When you make it into a phrasal verb. Yeah, mugged is very similar. Another one. Oh, what's going on? This is a weird photo. I don't know what happened to this. So throw away. Oh, that looks like it must be garbage. Don't throw away those bananas. They're fine. Now, obviously, throw away does not literally mean to throw something. It means to discard it, right? To put it in the garbage or get rid of it. Okay. Now, and absolutely, don't throw those bananas away. Make muffins or something. Yeah, make some banana bread. Those bananas are fine. Okay, now so there's so much to talk about with phrasal verbs, but I am going to take a minute because one thing that's important to mention here is that throw away, this is maybe one of the difficult things about phrasal verbs, is the little subtle differences, because throw away is the same as throw out, right? Don't throw out those bananas, they're fine. Don't throw away those bananas, they're fine. But throw away and throw out can sometimes be used a little bit differently, right? I'm going to go all the way up here. Actually, I'm going to change this view, maybe. Let's go landscape. There we go. Ooh, yeah, nice. All right, so we said throw away. You can say, what do we say? Don't throw away those bananas. I hate to see a good banana go to waste, right? And let me go in a little bit closer so you guys can see it. Okay. Don't throw away those bananas. We can say don't throw out those bananas. It's the same thing. And now Navjot is saying waste. Right. So in this case, throw out the bananas or throw away the bananas just means to put them in the garbage, get rid of them. But you can don't throw away this opportunity. Okay, don't throw away this opportunity. Don't throw your life away. Good advice. Don't let me down. Yeah, you guys singing, Anna's singing the Beatles. How about we can work it out? All right, that's another one too. So don't throw away this opportunity. You can throw away an opportunity. You can throw your life away, but you cannot throw out an opportunity, and you cannot throw out your life, right? So that's, I think, the tricky thing about phrasal verbs is these two sometimes are exactly the same in meaning, but other times they aren't. And Louise says, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Good advice. And Sina is saying throw away equals throw out. Yes, but not always. Sorry, it's English. I apologize on behalf of English. All right. So let me get back in here. Hopefully I'm not making anybody hungry with these bananas. All right. So, oh yeah, talking about word order, guys. So I'm going to talk for a little bit more about the structure of phrasal verbs. I'm going to show you some examples, and then I'm going to make you do some work for me. Nitesh, what was your question? Yeah, no, you don't bathe in the rain. No. Rain bathing? No, unfortunately you can't. Good question. So word order with phrasal verbs, when a phrasal verb has an object, there are two possible places for that object. Okay? There are two possible places. That object can come between the verb and the particle, right? Or it can come after the particle. There are some times that there are certain phrasal verbs that it can only be one or the other, but for the majority of phrasal verbs, it can be both. Okay, with exceptions. Don't get angry at me. Okay. Yeah, right. So Chateau 7 is saying is kind of one step ahead of me here. So, for example, can you do me a favor and take out the trash? Now, trash is your object. Okay? Take out, you got your verb, your particle out, and then the object. Take out the trash, right? And get rid of those shorts too while you're at it. Okay. All right, so you could also say, can you do me a favor and take the trash out? It's fine. Okay. Good. Okay. Now, for most, as I said, for most phrasal verbs, this is fine. Now, it gets a little bit trickier, though. If, for your object, if you're using a pronoun for the object, okay? So if the pronoun is me, you, him, her, it, etc., okay? It has to come between the verb and the particle. Now, JB87 is asking the difference between phrasal verbs and prepositional verbs. I think I kind of answered that a little bit earlier with Rosa. Okay, so if it's me or if it's it, it has to come between the verb and the particle. Again, with a couple exceptions. Right? There are a few exceptions in the English language, unfortunately. And again, Julian and Anna are singing, "Don't let me down, let me down." Okay? So it cannot come after the particle, usually. If anybody can give me an example of a phrasal verb that is followed by an object pronoun, put it in the chat and you get a special shout out. Okay? All right, so for example, can you do me a favor and take it out? Okay, take it out. Take out the trash. All right, or one more example. Are they ever going to turn that music off? Right? Turn that music off with the regular object. Are they ever going to turn off that music? But if it's a pronoun, it has to be turn it off. It can't be turn off it. You can't say turn off it. Ooh, Fabio, nice one. Get on with it. that's an awesome one because yeah, you've got the two prepositions in there. Nice. Now bring it up. You got the particle in the middle. Anybody else? Anybody give me an example of a phrasal verb where you've got the verb, the particle, and then the object pronoun. I'll tell you one. Sometimes to turn on someone, okay? If I say, Shaun's class suddenly turned on him. Yeah. Turned on him means to suddenly, to be against, to become enemies, okay? Turn on someone, very different from turn someone on. Okay, be careful with that one. So turn on him means all of a sudden the students got very angry. It was a mutiny. They all attacked Shaun and threw him out of the classroom. Okay, so that's one example that comes to my mind. Okay. All right, let's get back into here. Now, as you guys are saying, and I know I'm talking longer than usual. Usually I like to get you guys to do some work for me, but there's so much to talk about with phrasal verbs. Put up with it. Yeah, I guess that with really helps with the with that object pronoun. Okay. All right, so when are you coming back to Canada? As you guys have already mentioned with put up with, sometimes, as you can see, there are two prepositions in there, or two kind of particles, right? When are you coming back to Canada? My wife always tells me to stay away from casinos. Yeah, she doesn't trust me. Doesn't trust me with the casinos. Right? Or let's get out of here. I want to go home. Now, Chateau 7 was asking for a list of phrasal verbs that have two prepositions in there. I don't have a list of all of them. And I don't know how long that list would be, but I think it would be a long list. And that's kind of the trouble with phrasal verbs. As I said, teaching them is tricky because it's just vocabulary. It's just words. Okay, it's like let me teach you words today. There's so many. You could you can have your own phrasal verb dictionary, right? Anna's asking, do I like gambling? No, actually, that was a joke. I don't really like casinos very much. Horse races are okay though. I don't know. Yeah, Sina's saying catch up, keep up with. Whenever you got that with in there, you can use that object pronoun. All right. You guys are crazy. All right, so let's look at a couple examples of phrasal verbs with in, out, back, and away. And then away we go, and I'm going to get you guys to do some work for me. You guys are putting lots of good examples in the chat for other people to see, but if you're watching this as a video, let's look at some examples here. So the most obvious use of in and out as a phrasal verb is connected to entering or exiting a room or a building or something like that, right? Rooms, buildings, cars, pools, in and out mean literally in or out, where there's the meaning of the particle, the meaning of in and out is there sometimes, okay? Ramesh is saying you want to learn phrasal verbs, but you don't know how. Yeah, honestly, gang, I think the only way to do it is just to look for them when you're reading or listen for them when you're listening to the English language. We use them all the time in the daily use of English, in writing, in speech. We use them all the time. So just like any kind of vocabulary, guys, you have to read as much as you can, listen to the language as much as you can, pay close attention to the words that you're seeing, and jot them down somewhere. Rosa, you're saying really fed up of you? Not of, it should be with. I'm fed up with you. Hopefully you're not talking to me. All right, so the obvious meaning of in or out, we said the car stopped and someone got in, right? So to get in is a phrasal verb, meaning to actually enter, right? To get into the car, yeah? Jot down is a phrasal verb. Good one, Steve, yeah? Okay. Or someone broke in through the window and stole my laptop, okay? Broke in through the window. You seek solace in my smile? Okay. I seek solace in this class with you guys, in my little studio. So again, break in, jump in, run in, walk in. These are all having to do with actually going in. Okay, and it's the same with out. Many people walked out of the movie. It was terrible. I've never walked out of a movie. Has anyone here ever walked out of a movie? A movie was so bad that you had to walk out of it. I've definitely turned off movies at home, another phrasal verb. I've never walked out of a movie before. Now, JB87 is asking a good question here too, which is, are phrasal verbs informal? Not entirely. Okay, sometimes people often say that phrasal verbs are informal. They're used in speech and they're not academic, and that's not exactly true. Some of them can be a little bit less formal, right? To jump in, what do we say here? To pop by. Some of these phrasal verbs, a lot of phrasal verbs are informal and we use them in speech a lot. But there are other phrasal verbs that are connected to research and discovery that we do use them. Okay, for example, I'm getting a little off topic, but that's a good question. Okay, so the question is, are phrasal verbs phrasal verbs are not always informal. Okay. I mean, you can draw, for example, you can draw up a contract, right? To draw up a contract, that's not particularly informal, right? You can set out to discover something. There are phrasal verbs that are a little bit more formal, as I said. If I said researchers set out to discover a cure, right? So researchers set out to discover a cure. Again, this is not informal. Okay. So hopefully that answers your question. Now I'm not saying that these are super formal, but we do use phrasal verbs in some academic situations. Okay. So like everything in English, I would just be careful of generalized rules like that. Okay. Some people are asking, what does walk out mean? It literally means to leave the room. Alexia, that's a good one. That's a good example. Or another one here, can you tell me if we need to check out of the hotel? Now again, check out meaning to leave. Okay? Good. So other phrasal verbs with in and out, I'm going to show you a couple, and then I'm going to get you guys to do some work for me. I figured I would show you this one because it's one that kind of blows people's minds sometimes. So please fill in this form while you wait for your appointment. Oftentimes you go to a doctor, they say sit down, fill in this form, meaning write all the information in there. Right? Okay, so the crazy thing about this might blow your mind, is that you can fill in a form, right? But you can also fill out a form, right? And it means the exact same thing. So to fill in the information, to fill out the form is exactly the same thing. Exactly. And Rosa, I was one step ahead of you there. Fill in and fill out. These two are confusing, Steve Lynn says. Yeah, so just pick one and stick with it, okay? Fill it in or fill it out. Doesn't matter. Okay. So another one, obviously, work out. Are you going to the gym to work out today? Common one that all of you guys know, but I figured I would use this as an example to show the significant difference in meaning between one phrasal verb. So work out, obviously meaning to exercise, right? To get in shape, go to the gym. Now work out, as I talked about earlier with the Beatles song, we said they've been arguing quite a lot lately. I hope they can work it out, right? Which means to resolve a problem. Yeah, right. Yeah. Now the thing is, guys, one other tricky thing about phrasal verbs is sometimes the question why. People are saying, why? Why is fill in and fill out the same, right? Why is that the same? There is no reason why. It's just, it is. Yeah? Paluxio is saying it's all going to work out. Well, I hope so, right? So to work something out, solve a problem, find a solution. Okay? Good. French Leo, my car breaks down. Make sure there's an S on that one. Good. What's this one? Oh yeah, let me pop out of here for a second. Let me go here. Now I just thought that I would show you a couple more. Find out figure out, run out, go out, and put out. Again, there's so much to talk about. There's so many phrasal verbs to go over. Good questions. Okay, so find out and figure out are about answers, about information, right? Somebody says, when did you find out? Right? When did you find out means when did you get the information? When did someone tell you? Right? When did you find out you passed the test? Right? When did you find out you passed the test? Is a good little phrasal verb. You guys, yeah, you're giving me some good ones here. Figure out, a good one too, a little bit different because that's about finding the answer, right? If you say something like, I can't figure out why my computer isn't working. I can't figure it out, right? To find the answer, find the solution. Yasin is here. Hi, Yasin. Now, run out can obviously literally mean to run out of a room, right? But it can mean about the supply too. So I am running out of. I'm running out of energy. Not me. I've got plenty of energy. I could go all day, right? But in this case, yeah, talking about some kind of supply of something going down. You can run out of energy, run out of gas. Has anyone here ever run out of gas when driving their car? Just completely out of gas. I've never done that. I've never been held up at gunpoint. I've never walked out of a movie, and I've never run out of gas. So I've been pretty lucky. Oh yeah, I'm always running out of money. Yeah, but never gas or patience. Okay. Now go out and put out. These two have a lot to do with fire, basically. So to go out means when a fire or a flame or candle is extinguished, right? It stops. And the same thing with a light. If I say, everyone was surprised when the lights went out. Now this one, again, it blows people's minds because they should be, well, you mean turn off, right? The lights turned off. Well, yeah, it's the same thing. But we say the lights go out, okay? Oftentimes if it stops working. Rose is trying to figure out why he's acting that way. Good example, right? So the lights went out. Now again, this is a really good example of how out, the particle, doesn't really mean out at all, right? And that's the tricky part about phrasal verbs. The cadaverous wind blows out the light. Oh my goodness. And to put out means also to stop a fire or something like that, right? If you say the firefighters had to put out the flames. Right, exactly, yes, and good one. Good. All right, so let's hop back into the presentation for a minute. And I'm going to show you a couple more things. I'm talking way too much for this class. I want you guys doing some work for me. We might go a little bit long today. I know it's 2 o'clock in the morning for some of you guys. But we're talking about back, right? So back often means to return when you use back. Now, one piece of advice for students is oftentimes I notice students make the mistake of using back as a verb on its own. Like, when do you back to your country, right? but it's not when do you back, when do you go back. Okay? So examples are, I need to take these books back to the library. It means return. Could you put that back, please? Right? Put back the book on the shelf, right? That means return. We are leaving now and we'll come back around 10. Again, return. French Leo, I'll be back. The Terminator. Paluxio, I've got some coffee, right? And it's special Canada coffee, right? There we go. Happy birthday, Canada. I'm doing it for you. A little cold, but it'll do. It will do. It'll bring me back to life. Okay? A couple more, I think. When are you going back home, right? Return. And could you please pay back the money I lent you last week, Shaun? Right? Exactly. So all of these really have to do with returning. Yeah? And call me back, yes, and says, yeah, exactly. Yeah? To take something back. I need to take this back to the store. Good. Perfect. And now, really quickly, some phrasal verbs with away. Okay? And then I'm going to get you guys to do some work for me. Now, away, things like you should stay away from the edge of the cliff, right? Away has to do with distance or direction, right? Go away, run away, walk away means direction, right? Stay away, keep that distance. I am trying to give you a preposition headache, yeah? And there you go, there's another preposition after away. Drift away, Alejandra says, good one, yeah? Or this one, the kids can't come out of their rooms until they have put away their toys, right? Means to clean something up. Similar to put back, all right? Teachers are often saying, put away your cell phones, right? Good. I don't really think they want to leave their room. I mean, it doesn't really matter to them. But this is very much my life. These are not my kids, but my house looks like this. My house looks like I owe money to bad people when I get home. That's what my house looks like. Get away with something. Good. Good, good, good. Give away and get away. Why did I write those there? Well, I mean, two other examples I guess I could say. Give away, meaning to give something for free, right? To oftentimes, well, this is an example. This is a coffee company here in Canada. This is not an advertisement, but they have a contest where if you roll up the side of the cup, you might get a free donut or free something. So they are giving away donuts. Yeah. Dab away. Get carried away? Yeah, for sure. And you guys have already said get away. Jerry said it too. Get away. Good. Where are we here? What? Not yet. Okay, now it's time for you guys to finally do some work for me. Okay? I've been talking way too much today. But basically, as I said, the tricky thing about phrasal verbs is I could just stand here for days and give you example after example after example of phrasal verbs. But I think it's much better for you guys to just kind of look for them in your daily use of the English language, because I know you're using English every day, right? Of course. So let me go down here. Yeah, it's all going to fit? Perfect. Okay, so you've got about 10 sentences there. Each one has a particle, either out, or on, or out again, or away, right? Or back. All you need to do is finish the sentence with the proper verb to create a phrasal verb. Easy, right? Some of them I have shown you today. Some of them I may not have, okay? So take a couple minutes, take 2 minutes, and put your answers in the chat. Okay, make sure you put the letter next to it so I know which one you do, which answer you're, or which question you're answering rather, and we'll go over it together. Okay. Also keep in mind that some of these sentences might have more than one possible answer. Okay, so I'm going to disappear. I'm going to drink my coffee, and I'll be back in about 1 minute. I'm going to put the music on. All right, get to work. All right. Good, good. Lots of answers coming in. Again, we're keeping it pretty basic today, just to make sure that we're all together here. Now, most of you got A, right? Let me take a look. All right, so the first one, A. Could you please, Asal, I got it, Jerry said it as well, can you please fill out all the information in this questionnaire? Questionnaire being a kind of survey or form, so fill it out. Good. Good stuff, guys. And I don't really think there's any other option for that one. It just means to complete, right? What about B? Now let me make this a little bit. No, that's not really going to work. That's fine. There we go. Everyone was surprised when Amanda out of the meeting. She was upset. So Alejandro said, went out of the meeting? Maybe, maybe. Some people are saying get out. Now, first, guys, be careful of the tense, right? Past tense. So when she got out of the meeting, when she went out of the meeting, maybe. Let me see another one. I think there's still a better answer that I'm looking for. Kulwinder got it, and Jose, yeah. So the answer I was looking for is walked. She walked out of the meeting yesterday. She was very upset. So she was angry, so she got up and she left the room before the meeting was over. Right? She walked out. She may have run out. I'm not sure. But here's another little phrasal verb that I'll teach you today. She stormed out. Okay, to storm out means to walk out in an angry way. When you're very angry and you leave a room, you can say the person stormed out. Okay, both of those are good. Went out, not quite strong enough, I think, in this case. Okay, what about C? What do we got for C? C. JB87. Yeah, it says let. Yeah, could you please open the door and let the dogs out when you get home? Right? Let the dogs out. Rosa Casiero got it too. Does anyone else have a different answer for that one? I'm curious. Yeah, no, most people were saying let. You might hear someone say put the dogs out, right? Similar idea, right? Different. Oh, Steve Lynn, unfortunately, is asking who let the dogs who let the dogs out indeed. All right. Oh, Fabio got to it first. Oh, man. Okay. So what about D? I think you'll be cold like that. You should. D. Who's got D for me? D. So many answers. Let me find somebody who hasn't given me one yet. I'm seeing a lot of the same names. Barat, no, I wouldn't say wear, because you don't wear on a sweater. You don't wear on it. French Leo says put on. You put on a sweater. And Barat says get. I wouldn't say get on the sweater either. You got to put it on. Put on that sweater. Good try, though. That was good. Okay, E. What do we got? So don't add more wood to the fire. It will. Who's got? Okay, some people are saying burn. It will burn out by itself. Yeah, you could. I guess you could say burn out. It'll burn out, sure. Or as Milena says, it can go. It will go out by itself. Okay. Burnout is okay too. Burnout is a good phrasal verb that we use for other situations too, right? So if a light stops working, maybe the light bulb burnt out. Or people can burn out, right? Shaun is getting burned out. Yeah, it means you're tired. Just an example though, guys. Don't worry about me. All right, what about F? F. Raza, go. Good. Says, Bill Gates is planning to give away his fortune when he dies. I've heard that somewhere. I don't know if it's true, but that's a good answer, Raza. Thank you for that. G. Sorry, I don't have time to talk now. Can you... Yeah, can I? This is a pretty obvious one, I think. A bunch of you got it. Good for you. Can I call you back? Can I call you back later? Good. What about H? H. I was adopted when I was 15, but I didn't. Where's the verb? I'm trying to find somebody I haven't mentioned yet. It's a lot of the same characters giving me these answers, and that's fine. Asala, you got it. I didn't find out. I didn't find out I was adopted until I was 15. You could argue, figure out, if you were the one who discovered that you were adopted, right? Find out I was adopted probably means someone told you. Figure out means that you found the answer yourself, right? Like all of a sudden you just realized when you were 15, wait a minute, these people can't be my birth parents. Okay. Two more. Sorry for being late, I got. What did I get? And it's saying stay. You can't get stay up. Okay, and you can stay at school, but stay up usually means stay awake. Okay, now good try. Good try. And the same thing Navjot for, oh no, I'm looking at J, sorry. I'll come back to that one. Where's another one for I? Who's got I? Oh, Jerry got it. Good. Yeah, it can't be catch up. Milena got it too. So I got held up at school, hopefully not by gunpoint, right? A classmate needed my help. So I was delayed at school. I didn't get robbed at school. Yeah, you can't get back up at school either. Nice try, though. Nice try, Fabio. Okay. So Rosa's asking, is there a synonym for each phrasal verb like discovered equals figured out? I would say, in general, yeah, right? But there are going to be some exceptions, right? Like, for example, let's look at these. So the fire, right? Don't add wood to the fire. It will die. Sad, but it will die by itself in a little while, right? It'll die. Give away. What could you say instead of that? Donate, right? So, I mean, in most cases, there are going to be synonyms. It might be another synonym that's another phrasal verb, unfortunately, but it's not always going to be as simple as figure out equals discover. Okay. Good question. Now, what about the last one? Jay, my sister, what did she do? What do you guys think she did? Went away. Chaminda says went away. My sister went away when she was a kid. We found her later at a friend's house. Went away grammatically, it makes sense. The grammar's okay, but this seems a little bit strange. Let's find another one. I'm just seeing Chateau 7 says, I hope he doesn't flip out. Are you talking about me? I'm not going to flip out. I'm not going to flip a table over or smash anything anytime soon. I'm not going to flip out on YouTube. How about that? Let me find another answer. Why can't I see one? Where are they? There we go. Okay, so yeah, Anna, you got it. Good for you. Michael, you got it too. Good. So she ran away. My sister ran away when she was a kid. Yeah, which means to leave home. Kind of similar to escape kind of thing, to run away. Okay. Good stuff, guys. Really good. Okay, so this is only the beginning. I mean, I could teach a class on phrasal verbs every week until the end of my life, and we would never quite see all of the phrasal verbs in the English language. So that's why it's such a tricky, as I said, it's a very tricky thing to learn. I mean, somebody asked, what's the difference between a phrasal verb and a collocation? I would say collocation is the broader category. That phrasal verbs are sometimes in that category of collocation, words that go together. Okay. Steve Lynn. Okay, okay. Steve Lynn is saying my sister wandered away. Okay, that one's a good one, and very different in meaning, right? Different context there. My sister ran away means, I don't know, Mummy wouldn't give her ice cream for lunch, so she said, I don't want to live with you anymore, and she ran off, right? And she wandered away sounds like she was very young, right? Maybe 2 or younger, and she just walked off out of the yard and maybe got lost, right? French Leo wants to dive in to the mistake of the week. Jerry's saying hid away. My sister hid away. I'm not sure about that one. You guys need me to teach a class on phrasal verbs until I die? And Jazzadicto is saying, can we say die out in E? Like here? The fire will die out by itself? Yeah, sure. Good one. Jerry's saying toddlers wander away. They certainly do. You gotta keep an eye on them. Okay. And Gilda is saying, what about F? Can you say throw away his fortune? Well, that's very different too, guys, right? I mean, it's possible. I don't know if you can throw, I mean, you can throw away your fortune, but that sounds like it means you're putting all the money in the garbage. You're getting rid of it. Give away means you're giving it out to other people. Okay? And definitely don't throw the dogs out. Well, die out, Anna. Die out can mean to slowly fade, like a fire, or a noise, or it can mean to slowly become extinct, like a type of animal can die out. Okay, you have now you guys have filled in the gaps. All right. So how about this? You guys are asking for it. Let's get on with it. Okay. The mistake of the week. All right. So anybody who's new with the mistake of the week, this is how it works. I'm going to put a sentence up on the screen. You guys are going to look at it and find me the mistake. It's a common mistake that English learners make. Whoever finds it first and puts it in the chat is my favorite student for the day. All right. Yeah. So let me put that sentence up here. I'm going to disappear from the screen. I'm going to put the happy little dancing monkey music back on. And I want you guys to find me the mistake. Okay? Now I'm turning you against each other now. You're usually friends, but now you're racing to beat everybody else in the chat. Asala's internet connection is her enemy. Yeah, I hear that. Okay, so here's the sentence. Find me the mistake, and I will be back in 5 seconds or so. Bye-bye. Cool. Wow. Some of you guys are quick on the draw. Yeah, lots of people came out with the answer. Now the problem with this sentence, she accused her classmate for going through her bag and stealing her phone charger, is a common mistake regarding what we call dependent prepositions. Okay? Now, just as we were talking about phrasal verbs, there are also, as we said, collocations, or words that kind of work together, verbs and prepositions that match and are used together more often than just by chance. Okay? And again, there is a very, very endless, long, infinite list of dependent prepositions and verbs. So in this sentence, you guys nailed it very quickly because we're firing it off, and lots of people got it. Like Milena and Maga, Chaminda, you guys got it. But way up top, the champion of the day is English Vibe. English Vibe got it in about half a second, followed by Fabio and then Luis. Asala says never give up, which is very positive. Yeah, good. So she accused her classmate not for, but she accused her classmate of going through her bag. So the verb accuse, if you're following it with a preposition, that preposition is going to be of, right? Not for. Now, very interesting thing that I saw in here. Who was that? Who put that there? I think it was Anna, actually, because you fixed it. You fixed it in a completely different way, but it still works, and it's great, and it's very it's a nicer way of fixing it. Okay, so everybody else said she accused her classmate of going through her bag. Okay, and I'm pretty sure I think it was Anna that said it, but I can't see it now. But let me go down here, and I'm going to show you, instead of this, she said she forgave. That's nice, right? Wow. She forgave her classmate, right, for going through her bag and stealing her phone charger. Very nice. So first she accused her of it, and when her classmate admitted it, she forgave her for going through her bag. And that's great. So forgive someone for, accuse someone of. These are dependent prepositions and a source of much misery in a student's life. Yes, Anna, you're very kind. You're more forgiving than I am. All right, guys, so that was good. Let's pop out here. Let's go full screen, because that's all the time we have for today. Yeah, it's a happy ending. Everybody is forgiven. Okay, everybody's forgiven. All right, guys. So yeah, it's always a pleasure for me to jump in here and teach you a thing or two. Okay, answer your questions and just spend some time with our little global classroom here. It's a great way to finish the week. Again, it's a tough lesson. It's a tough thing to teach, but we will be doing more phrasal verb classes in the coming weeks and months and years. I don't know how long, but we'll definitely keep it going. Okay, because I think this is a good subject. It's a good topic for students to focus on, to expand your vocabulary. Yeah, and Adala is saying he's weak in English vocabulary. Please help me. The only way, guys, to increase your vocabulary is by exposing yourself to the language. And that's really there's no quick fix, unfortunately. I don't recommend just memorizing lists of words. The best way to grow your vocabulary, not grow it up, but to grow your list of vocabulary is to read the language. Look at the language and pay attention to the words. If you see a word that you're unfamiliar with, then you can jot it down, right? Remember it, and use it incorrectly and make a big mistake, and then fix it, and then use it correctly. Yeah, and that's basically it. But no, there's no shortcuts, unfortunately, with English vocabulary. Not that I'm aware of, anyway. I've studied other languages before, and I have never found a short, quick, and easy way of learning the vocabulary of a language. You just have to read it. You have to listen to it. You have to engage with the language. Jacqueline, what are you thinking about here? Right? Tell me what's on your mind. Right. Anna's got a test tomorrow. Good luck, Anna. I'm sure you will be fine. Okay. So yeah, guys, it's always a pleasure. Keep watching the videos. Keep joining the other classes with Neil and Josh. Keep coming back here. I'm here every Friday. It's my pleasure to be here with you guys. And we'll see you here next week. All right? Yeah, my pleasure, guys. Okay, I'm out of here. Happy Canada Day, everybody. Have a good weekend. Have a good week, and we'll see you here next time. All right? Bye for now. Hi, everyone. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to our channel. Also, if you want the full experience of being a student in a Smrt Live class with things like homework and teacher feedback, follow the link and become a premium subscriber. Also, if you want to see more videos from this class, check out our playlist.